When your last name is Mags, you might be called Mags the Magnificent if you're in major sports. And this guy was in major pro hockey for a number of seasons. Probably one of the most underrated defensemen of the 1970s. Led the Phoenix Indianapolis Racers in scoring one season. One of the few times in WHA history a defenseman led a WHA team in seasonal scoring. And undrafted, but my God, what a pleasure to watch this guy play and to see his development on every level. Today we're going to be talking about, again, the very underrated and very deserving of a podcast, because I don't see much on him out there. Darryl Maggs. Now, Darryl John Maggs is again a retired hockey player who played a grand total of 35 games in the NHL and 402 games in the WHA between 1971 and 1980. He played for Chicago, California, the Chicago Cougars, the Denver Spurs, the Ottawa Civics, the Indianapolis Racers, Cincinnati Stingers, and of course the Toronto Maple Leafs, and he's returned to the NHL in 1980. Now, born in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, 6'1", 195, a right shot, and he had talent, ladies and gentlemen. First came to major prominence with the Red Deer Rustlers of the AJHL in 1968, with 26 points in 60 regular season games, including 6 goals and 5 points in 11 playoff games. 69 with the Calgary Sentinels of WCHL, pretty good totals, 29 points in 35 games. And for some reason, I couldn't find more about it, but this was quite unique, ladies and gentlemen. He found himself in 1970 being undrafted, but started playing with the University of Calgary in the CIAU, where he put up 25 points in 14 games and 6 points in 4 playoff games. Now, he finally was signed by the Blackhawks, their farm team in 71, put up some dynamite numbers in that campaign. 50 points in 71 games, including 6 points and 5 goals in 10 playoff games. Finally got the call up to Chicago in 72. 59 games, 7 goals, 4 assists, 11 points, and 4 playoff games. Now, 73 was a weird year because Chicago was looking at either keeping or moving defensemen because Pat Stapleton had moved on. 73, for some reason, he couldn't score a point his first 17 games with Chicago. California picked him up, and he opened out again. 7 goals, 15 assists for 22 points in 54 games. Now, Darryl was a little bit aggressive, and you see with his totals. When he moved over to WHA, when he signed with Chicago, his first season, he had 148 minutes and penalties in a regular season, but opened out in the playoffs. 71 minutes and penalties. That year, he had 30 points in a regular season, 78 games, 8 points in the playoffs, and Chicago again went on that Avco Cup final run. Now, 75, 33 points for Chicago. 76, he split time between the Spurs and the Racers. We had 9 goals and 39 assists for 48 points, and he played 1 playoff game with the Racers. 77, of course, his career year. We talked about that. 71 points in 81 games, and 16 goals and 5 points in 9 playoff games. Now, with the Racers in 78, he played most of the season, but found himself with the Cincinnati Stingers with 62 total games that year, 8 goals, 20 assists for 28 points. Now, in a very unique turn of events, ladies and gentlemen, he found himself with the Stingers for most of the season, but jumped to the German league, Mannheimer ERC, for 11 games that year. So very unique that a WHA player or major pro player in North America would jump to the German league. Now, 79-80, he played with Toronto Maple Leafs for 5 games and wrapped up his major pro career, because I consider the NLA a major pro for Europe, with Essan Lango, with 1 assist in 6 games. So final NHL totals, again, 14 goals, 19 assists for 33 points. WHA totals, 51 goals, 177 assists for 228 points, and 14 points in 34 playoff games. But I'd like to see the tapes, ladies and gentlemen, what caused him in 1974 to get 71 minutes and penalties in 18 games. Because that means if I'm looking at 71 points, it means either a couple of misconducts or a couple of match penalties. Because, he was known to be a fighter, but he wasn't a dirty player. But what a career. You play with Red Deer, Calgary, University of Calgary, Dallas, Chicago, California, Chicago again, Denver, Ottawa, Indianapolis, Cincinnati, 2 terms in Europe, plus the Maple Leafs. So tremendous career. And being 6'1", 195, I can tell you, he could skate. I saw a game he played with the Racers, And let me tell you something, he opened up a lot of ice. Do you get him? I don't know if they officially call him the Mags the Magnificent. For the sense of this podcast, we'll call him Darryl Mags or Mags the Magnificent. So again, thanks for listening. Please give us a like, comment, or subscribe if you like what we're doing. We're not a monetized channel. I just like to get feedback from the listeners. If you like what we're doing, please again give us a comment or request. Let us know how we're faring out. We appreciate it. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, everybody. Watching the Maritimes, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to have heavy rain coming in. Your snowmen will be liquefied and frozen by Wrestling Day, which is December 27th in Canada. So be careful out there. Have a good day. Bye.